So, round 3, because Sam forgot to record.
But because everyone was asking and all the comments were here, like, how does Yvette do her hair?
So we had to do another edition about hair care. Where do you get your clothes from, Sam? We got so many questions.
Yes, because of you guys, this is happening again. So thank you very much.
We've known each other for a really long time. So basically it's very we talk about photography all the time, entrepreneurial stuff together, gear stuff, like traveling. We both have the same kind of lifestyle right now.
But we just spoke about it. Yeah. I was basically your first fan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we connected. Through he saw me working for one of my really big clients, Yacht Week. That was one of the first...
Yacht Week.
The Yacht Week.
Yeah.
It's this amazing thing you get to work for. It's basically you're sailing
with 100 yachts.
Huge yachts, amazing fun people. You're traveling to all these beautiful places with beautiful, yachts, and you meet amazing people, and you are there and you're being paid for it and you're actually working.
Yeah.
And that's what you saw on my Instagram. You were like, what's she doing? Yeah.
I remember
what's she working for?
Yeah, but the biggest thing I remember seeing the trailer of the Yacht Week was blown away. I was like,
they were the first with really these trailers and with this significant style in photography and videography. It just makes you want to go. It just makes you excited.
It made me so excited to work with them. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was the best festival, the best party, the best experience as a human you can have on yachts in Croatia. Traveling with amazing people, meeting new people, and it's insane. And I always had this mindset of I cannot afford anything in life, but I want to do a lot of stuff. I want to meet rich people. I want to know what it's like to be rich. So I just go work at a hotel.
You want to experience it. Yeah. So you start out working for the experience.
I started working
and then the money comes eventually.
I started working as a waiter in hotels to just meet those high-level people. To be like, what is it about? Who are they? How do they communicate? What is this world? And then the Yacht Week was whoa.
Yeah, that's super fancy.
Yeah, so instead of paying the Yacht Week, which I couldn't afford at all back then,
thousands of euros,
I was just attending it as
their photographer. You got asked, and you got asked back, and you got paid. And remember, there are thousands of photographers that want this spot, right?
5,000. I asked 5,000. They're on the list.
Crazy.
Of people who want to be a photographer.
Yeah, and you were in their book. They wanted to book you.
No, they actually booked me after Corona. I was the first one they booked. Yeah. And I was like, why? Why did you book me? And
it's good to ask your clients this as well, by the way. Why did you book me? It's not insecure getting that positive feedback. You want to know why. So
no. Yeah, First, how many options did you get? They said $5,000, 5,000 people, photographers. And so why did you choose me? And she told me, a funny story is that she asked the social media manager, who is the photographer you use the most photos of?
Yeah.
And she was like, Sam. And by coincidence, I happened to email them a few weeks before or a few days before.
Yeah, so send that reminder.
Of, hey, Corona is over. I see that you guys are starting running the season again. I would love to work with you and I really miss you guys because what we did last time was one of my best times in my life.
Yeah.
I sent that to this email and they were like, we actually saw that we actually use your photos the most. They had my photo as their Facebook cover photo, which was a huge big it was a big thing back then, Facebook. And they were like, let's work together again. And this is how we got to do the first. I was super excited. It was amazing.
Of course. You're so happy then.
First week of
and it's
after
so
Corona.
Hectic, right? You're shooting from sunrise to middle of the night. Maybe you sleep a few hours. You get up again. You go. You're doing activities every day. You're meeting all these people. And you can't be just chilling. It's not your holiday. You actually have to work. You have to edit the photos every day. So
it's a mix of so much emotions.
Yeah. I cried at the end because I did a couple of weeks. And then because of the lack of sleep and you're working so hard and you're just getting, it's so social. You're on all the time.
Yeah.
And then I remember that I got locked out of the boat and everybody was partying and I really needed sleep. So I was like, guys, I'm gonna head back. And I was on the boat where I had to paddle to the boat and I was on the boat, didn't have a key. And I was just breaking down in tears, and I never cried. That was
I was also super emotional. I remember getting mad at everyone, loving everyone, all the emotions. And then someone told me, on yachts or on the sea, there's more emotions.
Yeah,
but also it's because it was so much more intensive.
Yeah,
we were working, partying, enjoying, socializing, working for someone else, and having the craziest thing for me was that I kind of had a manager who I was working with.
Yeah,
it was like
she
on
was
WhatsApp.
there.
She was booking for me all the hotels. She was booking for me all the taxis. She was arranging, and like I would wake up and she would be, "Hey Sam, morning Sam. Today you're gonna do this, and then this. Like every 30 minutes was planned.
Like,
every 30 minutes was planned.
And didn't you like? Camera broke down in the middle of yacht week where you're on all the time and then you break your camera.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me this and I got stressed from it. I was like, what the fuck? You're probably in Croatia, you're in Greece, you're in the middle of nowhere, maybe on the water. How do you resolve this?
I came 2 days earlier just to enjoy Croatia, I think.
Oh, good.
I mean, I just like exploring and stuff. So I found the local camera store. I found everything, and I knew they had all my gear. So I was not stressed. I was even thinking about buying a new drone and stuff.
Oh, good.
But what happened is I went into the sea with a camera case.
Oh, God.
With a cheap camera case.
Yeah, don't do this. Disclaimer, that will not be safe every time. You can do it again.
I will. I didn't throw the case yet.
It just looks like a plastic bag, basically. Yeah. Just use a grocery bag
instead. 4,000 camera inside it. And I went into
like
the
sea. $20 bag, probably.
I think $50, something like this. But it's just a piece of plastic. And I went into the sea. I made some crazy photos. I asked everyone to jump from the yachts and stuff. It was insane. And suddenly the camera doesn't work anymore. What's going on? And I lifted the bag and like half water everywhere inside the bag. Oh shit, this is bad.
Oh my God.
Luckily, it was at the weekend. So I had a few more pictures to take before we went to the big city. And then at the big city, I just bought a new camera directly. I paid for it, everything myself. But insurance covered me. Lucky. Yeah,
lucky.
It was lucky.
Good save. No, we kind of like naturally grew into it. And now we're doing what we love. Basically, we're both living out our dream, which is pretty special. But I was thinking, like, why do you love photography? Why do you do what you do? What is your, like, why here?
Photography changed my life in so many ways. I started because I wanted to build personal brands for myself and for, like, I wanted to be a DJ at the beginning. And that's why I moved alone to Amsterdam, to the big city, to a new country, my home country where I was born. But I moved there alone and I want to become a DJ. And then little did I know, everyone in Amsterdam literally is a DJ.
And also a photographer nowadays.
No, there's enough jobs for photographers.
Yeah.
But literally everyone I spoke to is a DJ.
Exactly. Like, it's a very popular thing to do. And then just like be a DJ.
Yeah.
Especially everybody is a DJ in Amsterdam. Yeah. And then, everybody.
And then I got my first gig for free. It was like a gay bar, completely empty. And I was like, please let me DJ for free.
Typical.
All right. They let me DJ for an hour for free. I did it. And then the house DJ came and he was like, cool, I didn't hear your sets, but what is special about you? What kind of DJ are you? And I had no clue how to answer that. I was like, I'm just a DJ. Just want to play music and make people happy. And he was like, cool. Yeah, next. Literally. Next. And I took this question home and I was like, wow, how do I make myself special? And all the DJs I loved. I was a huge fan of Martin Garrix, Eminem, all those like huge celebrities that I dreamed about working with. And this is why I went into DJing. Yeah. To work with those people, to be with them. But I realized they all have amazing photos on Instagram. They have like a personal brand. They share amazing quality photos and that's how they do it. And I was like, okay, well, if this is what I need to do to make myself special and unique, this is what I will do. I bought my camera. I invested all my money, literally, bought my first camera. And I started making photos of everything I saw. I asked people to make photos of me. Yeah. I started just like, I want to share my life on Instagram because I was traveling a little bit. Yeah. I was in a new country, so I want to share those things. Yeah. And then I had this idea, maybe it's easier to get into the event industry and work with my celebrities with this camera
in a different way. Yeah.
Instead of being a DJ, maybe it's easier to get in with this camera and then I can become a DJ. Then I was working as a waiter like 10 hours a day, working my ass off. And then when I went home, I had like no energy, but I would open Facebook and I saw events in Amsterdam and I would instantly send them emails. I didn't want to wait. I knew I would never do it if I don't do it now. I sent all of them. Every event I saw, I sent an email. Hey, I would love to make photos for free for you. I'm happy with just an entrance, free entrance and drinks. And you can see the photos. And a few of them agreed. Not so much, but a few of them agreed.
And that's your start. You just need a little beginning. You don't need a lot of people. You just need that opening.
I actually did it for 3 people.
Yeah.
Made 3 photos for them. 2 of them called me back. Hey, could you make photos for free?
Yeah.
My photos were not good. They were just okay. I mean, this was my first time ever taking
you have to.
literally ever.
Yeah.
But they were like, hey, we're actually looking for a new photographer. Can you come every month?
Wow.
And it's like,
yes,
this is working.
I got free work. Yeah.
no, paid.
Oh, paid.
Paid. Yeah, they paid me.
Good.
$100.
Oh,
for
good
4 hours or something.
Yeah, but
$25 an hour.
That was your first step. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the second guy, he calls me in the middle of the night, so like at 11, and it's like, hey, we need a photographer now. Can you come? What's your rate? And I was like, oh, I heard somewhere it's $300. $300. And he was like, oh, well, we only have 200 or 150 or something.
And you're already like, whoa.
Yeah, and I was like, shit.
Deal.
No problem. I'll be there. And I was there. And I made photos. I'm not sure if they were happy, to be honest.
No, but
they didn't react. For them, it's usual business because they do it every night.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, ooh, I'm learning. This is actually working. And then I started looking at the club's photos, and I saw everyone is editing their photos because they didn't look like mine. All the other photos looked so much better. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Lightroom it is. I need to learn what it is.
Style, your
presets. I started learning all those things from YouTube, but I basically got my work before I started even like learning how to edit, how to do all those things.
I had the same actually. Right. But, so for me, it started out because my friends were DJs. They were throwing these parties, and I basically took photography lessons at my university. I was studying advertising at the moment at the Art Academy. And I was always attracted to photography, but I was scared that you couldn't make a living out of it. I was like, no, you can't do this full time. You know, you're not going to make money out of it. So, you know, opt for a job in advertising. It's still creative. But, you know, photography was risky for me. You know, I thought it was a risky choice. So then during that first year of studies, I actually just got a camera. I didn't even know how it worked. I got it as a gift, and I was very drawn to photography, but I just didn't know how flash worked and everything. And then my friends were like, hey, so we're throwing this party. You have this camera. I see you're taking a bit of photos. Like, can you take photos of this like event we're throwing? And we have like this really small budget, but I was like, yeah, that's okay. But I didn't even know like at the time how the camera worked. And I basically like my flash didn't work, and I didn't know like what I was doing with my settings. So I did like a really slow like shutter, and it made like all of my pictures like very weird. So I thought like, oh my God, like, half of them are total failure. But then I started to edit them, and I found this effect in Photoshop, and I was like, actually, this looks pretty good. I'll just act like this was meant to be, you know. I sent them and they were like, oh, we'll do this again, like next month. We love this. And this was my first job.
What was the effect?
It was like an effect of just like having a really slow shutter speed. So you have those lines in the photo. Sometimes you had like people 2 times because they were moving. But with the flash, it actually looked quite cool. And I just threw on like a weird filter on it. And then it worked out. And I got like asked back. And I was like, whoa. Well, in the middle of the night, I was really standing against a wall trying to call people who did know how to make it work. Like Googling it. And I'll just like hands in my hair. I was like, oh my God, I'm messing up big time. And I didn't. So then I was like, this is fun. We're going to keep on going with this. And then it just naturally, like, if you do this party, someone is going to play there and they're going to ask you. And if they're happy, they're going to ask you there. So for me, it was very like mouth to mouth advertising. And all of a sudden, I was like, it was my just like side job as a student. So that was pretty good.
And when did you start taking it full time? Serious?
It was after I finished my studies, and I was already like working a lot as a photographer on the side.
Yeah.
But I still didn't see it as like my real-time job. I'm going to do this for real, you know. I was still scared.
Yeah.
I thought it was still too risky. So I was like, I'm going to work as an art director in advertising. That seemed more safe. So I got a job.
Yeah.
I was doing well in advertising as well. And I loved it, you know, working for brands and creating campaigns for them and doing like copywriting and art direction. Then I worked in Singapore as an art director. And I did that for a while. And I was like looking outside the window. I remember living in this like foreign country. I've always wanted to like live somewhere. And then I was looking outside the window. I'm working all the time. I'm not even traveling. I was like looking at all the palm trees outside. I'm basically working for someone else. I'm giving away my creativity, energy, ideas, time. Somebody else is making up rules for me. And I'm not that person, actually. It's like I'm born to work for myself, I found out. And then I remember I quit that job. I started traveling, and as a way to like fund my travels, I started working as a photographer again. And I was like, I think I'm going to take this serious again. And this actually now is my real full-time job. So I'm really happy with that switch.
And okay. But then you got to work for your dream clients.
Yeah. So the last few years has been really, really great. Client-wise, it just like, basically just went so fast for me, the last few years. It was like from working for the Anne Frank house, like shooting their campaign.
Everybody wants to know how you get to work for all those big brands.
Yeah. I feel like it's always been personal for me. It's always about like having these human connections with people. Of course, I consistently really pushing to create amazing images with the client, and also thinking really with them about how the process is going to be and how do we want the pictures to come out. So I don't just walk up on the shoot with my camera and don't just take pictures now. I want to be involved in the whole process. We are way more than photographers. I feel like we're also, you have to be like, you can't just be pushing a button and, I think the 90s, there was this whole team around you, and sometimes it is still like that you're on a campaign and you just press a button. But I feel like now you have to be entrepreneurial. You have to do your own marketing well. You have to reach out to people. You have to just really love what you do and basically put in the extra mile and be all of these roles, not just be a photographer. Also think with the client in the creative process, help them to create the images that they want. Also think about what they, not just,
understand them better than they know self. Like they understand their problem better.
Don't just ask them like, what do you want? What photo do you want? How many photos do you want? But be like, we're going to take charge, take that leadership, be like, okay, you're needing this. I see that you have this right now, these photos right now. I like it or I don't like it, and why, and you need this. So just be like super proactive. Be confident, I'm very easy in my communication with people. I just love getting to know people, getting to know their stories, working with people. So I act like that with my clients as well. My intern said that as well. She was like, it's like you're on set with your friends. But I feel like it's super personal for me. So it's never like super business feeling. It's always like I treat my clients like I treat my friends.
Do you think there's a Dutch thing in culture, or do you think we can do that?
No,
worldwide?
I feel like it's creative. It's if you work in a creative scene.
You actually work with people from America, right?
I work with Germany, America, exactly. Like a lot of Spain. And no, I feel like it's the same. I feel like maybe Asian culture is a bit more like business-like.
Like strict.
Scarce. Yeah, a bit more rules there, a bit less social, maybe like more the Asian culture, not like Bali culture. But I feel like that's in Asia, it's a bit of a difference. But no, I feel like the rest of the cultures is kind of the same. Germany can be a bit more business as well. A lot of rules, a lot of contracts. So it's not how I would treat my friends, basically. But still, I feel like in our field of business, it is very personal and very friendly and open. Do you feel like that as well?
Yeah, no, I at the beginning, I was like a little bit business. I was like, I need to make a contract.
Yeah, you don't know how to behave, says. Right?
America, everybody on YouTube says, you need to have a contract. That's the most important thing. Oh my God, I didn't.
No, that's interesting as well, that you don't work with the contract.
No, I'm like trying to solve the problem as quick and easy and stress-free for the clients as possible. But half the money. Like sometimes I'm like charging a lot of money and I'm like, yes, it's an investment and it's important. But it might change a lot. Or for big clients, actually, they don't care about spending $5,000. No. For them, it's just business as usual. Yeah. They do it every day. So for businesses, if you want to get to work with amazing clients.
For businesses, it's easier to just ask your fee. For smaller clients, I sometimes feel a bit like... Yeah.
There's this joke where it's like, this is going to cost you $5,000. And then the client is like, oh my God, this is so much money. I hope it will change my life. I hope we'll do so much things. And it's like really demanding. And it's like a huge thing because for them, it's like 2 months of salary. But then you work with a business, you make 2 photos or like one day. And it's like money sent. Thank you very much.
Exactly. It's so much more easy. And otherwise I'm like, geez, all this responsibility. You don't even want that. I just want to work with some big clients that are not like...
But I think it's more of a mindset because I also have like charged a lot of money from people, for normal people, but for weddings. But it's For them, it's more about the mindset. They understand they don't want the cheapest photographer.
Exactly, because
they don't want
see it in
average
quality.
photographer. They want a good photographer.
Yeah.
And it costs more, but they're used to it and they know what they get. They know why they pay for it because they have experience.
And it's the most important day of their lives. And if you're going to like save on that, you're going to save on the quality, you know, or you're going to have people that are doing it for the first or second time. Or
my clients actually shared with me a story that she hired a cheaper photographer. During the wedding, she was just behind the camera taking photos, telling them nothing, just like do your thing and just hiding behind the camera. And they felt so awkward with her, with a photographer, that they didn't want to look at the photos. The photos were great. They were looking great, like all the rules.
Yeah, but they just reminded them of a really terrible experience.
Exactly.
You see, like photography is such an experience as well. You're not only there with your photo camera, you're actually like, you're interacting, you're giving people an experience. So make it positive, you know, make it memorable.
Exactly. And because of that, they ended up booking another photo shoot for their wedding. They couldn't do the wedding again because that would be too expensive and people wouldn't like.
Of course,
But they ended up doing another photo shoot for the wedding that looks like the wedding, so they have better memories with a good photographer. So I ended up paying twice, which is more expensive than just hiring a good photographer. And it's bad memories and it's a bad experience.
Yeah.
And another thing that I realized is that what do most people speak about? What do we speak about now? Experiences that we had in life. So the better you can provide this experience to other people, even though it's not what they book you for. They book you just for the end result.
They book you for the result. But you come there and have positive experience. And what happens then is
they will speak about you to everyone. They will share it.
Exactly.
And they will if you
and like, also what you did is like after you give the great experience, after you give the good photos, you took the photos out of the digital space because we're always watching photos on our phone or laptop, but we don't actually like print them anymore. When do we ever hold photos in our hand anymore? And you actually thought about that and you were like, how can I be different? How can I still think about me after this wedding? You made like these cute little gifts to and you gave them to your client, just like
two glass things, so transparent, and then I put the plants inside it. And then I saw him like
with these dried plants at a house one day. What are you doing? Did you get like a new flower arrangement hobby that I didn't know about? And he's like, no, he's like making these really cute presents for his clients.
And then surprising them, giving them to them.
And they were so happy with it, right?
They were so happy, but the magical thing is like they put it everywhere in their house. And then everyone is like, every visitor or every family member, oh my God, this is so cute and beautiful. I've never seen anything like that.
That's from Sam.
And then they share the whole experience that they had with it. And that's like...
You add another layer on top. It's really good, You think about it as a whole circle.
I didn't do it because I was thinking about it, but I realized that later.
But if you think back on it, you're like, oh yeah. So that's even more beautiful because you did it because you really liked to give something to them and you had probably a good experience as well.
I think the principle we're trying to communicate here is care more about your clients than about the transaction.
Yes,
because most photographers care about the transaction. Yes. And that's where the questions come.
And that's also with the contract, you know, like you're too much in your head with all of the agreements and the contracts and the price. But it's like human. We're dealing with people here. We're all people. We want to connect. But so give them a good experience.
I think the problem why photographers sometimes think like this is because they end up editing the photos for a really long time and it ends up being a nightmare for them to edit all those photos because
they regret like that they didn't charge more or you get like feedback, maybe a lot of feedback.
And then my solution for that would be just to hire someone in the Philippines to edit the photos for you. Then you don't need to learn how to edit. You just have someone who is really good at editing for $5 an hour. So like you charge $200 an hour or $100 an hour and right? And then
you can hire an editor, not necessarily more of a human there, but you can just hire an editor,
the whole process makes everything easier. And then every time you click on the camera, you don't feel like, oh, I'm going to have 10 minutes.
Because what do we spend the most time on? Editing, 100%. It's not producing the shoot. It's not taking the actual photos. Usually you're twice as much time with selecting and editing. So if you can actually hire an editor somewhere around the world that you just connect to digitally, that's going to take so much more time and you can focus on your website. You can focus on getting new clients.
Communicating, experience, caring about your clients. I think the subconscious thing...
You do need those presets first. You need your style.
Well, you can also give your credit. You can also give... No.
Presets.
You don't need to buy presets for my presets, but I do get good presets or get your video editor, photo editor to get good presets. But I think photographers subconsciously have kind of a trauma where every time they click the camera, they remember, oh, now I need to edit for 10 minutes.
It makes me click scared, honestly.
Yeah. And this is why we get this like human interactions where it's like, I need money from it. I'm scared. I don't want to sit there. And clients don't understand that. So it's important to communicate this also. Yeah. Like, hey, I'm staying here 15 minutes longer for this photo shoot for free.
Or just so you know, so much in Bali, and then I'm like, oh my God, I have to edit this. I have to edit this. I have to edit this.
Yeah. But just so you know, I'm going to stay 2 hours longer because of this 15 minutes editing those photos.
Yeah, make the client aware. Yeah. The client doesn't know. So you have to sometimes educate your clients about like, because I feel like businesses, they understand why we're charging what we're charging, but people sometimes don't. So you have to kind of like, give them a little bit of an overview.
And when you're starting as a photographer, you're starting with those clients who don't understand it, who don't...
They're just like, whoa, you're charging so much per hour, but they don't understand that there's like your gear in that, your insurance is in that, your editing time is in that, selecting, producing, your skill time that you had to learn photography is there. There's so much in that price. So maybe just like, educate them a little bit about it.
Education is very important.
Yeah.
Make a whole course about how to treat your photographer.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Sell that to clients. No, give that to clients for free. Just like, please understand us better. Because we understand you, but please understand us. Sometimes I also, at a fashion shoot or something, I already have the shot.
Can you imagine?
And the client is like, yeah, but I paid you for a whole day. And I'm like, yeah, but, like, it was really fast. And it went really well. It's a good thing, right? No, it's not, because the client is like, has this supermarket mentality or something. Like, you have to stay and work for 8 hours. If you have the shot, you have the shot.
Yeah. I remember I was surprised the first time I was photographing for like a big artist. Yeah. And he needed a few portraits. Mm-hmm. And he came to my house very spontaneously. Everything went super well. Good experience. And then like after, like he paid me for a whole hour or 2 hours even. I don't remember. But after 20 minutes.
You already have the shot.
He was like, okay, I think we're done. We got good photos. Thank you very much.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. But you paid me for more. And I was like, I don't care. I just need the photos.
It's about the photos, not the time. Yeah. But, I mean, unpopular opinion maybe, because clients think they're paying you also for your time. But then when you have the shot, do you go on? Yeah. Keep shooting, or
he had a different mindset of like, I do photo shoots every day.
Some of my models have that as well. They're like, my time's precious. If we have it, we just go on, but if you have a client there, it's just different, Yeah. And if you had like your model and client was the same person, so that's great. He could be like, I have other stuff to do and time is valuable. So you just go on. And it's amazing for me to have this flow in a shoot. I usually work when I shoot like photo or make my art prints. So there's no like money, I shoot so fast because I don't like wasting time. I don't like editing too much. And I love keeping the energy in the shoot. I'll just be like, click, 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 click. We have it. Go on. Next corner. Next slide. This. I'm really, really fast. So for me, when I'm working all day with a client or you've been booked for a couple of days, I have to slow myself down. Strange. It's not my way of work, but it's different. Yeah. But I like that energy.
How did you go to, like, one of the best clients you have is Lipton, right?
Yeah.
Lipton, the drink.
Well, that's one of my biggest clients right now. Yeah, I work for them a lot.
How did you go? You're like almost a house photographer for them.
Yeah, I shoot like a lot for them. Basically, I'm their photographer now, and also find other people, other creatives for them, like videographers, etc. So that's been really, really good and really fun. It's like this commercial client, but we work with influencers as well, and you do product shoot, but you do lifestyle, and like everything.
They're good clients.
It's really nice. They're an amazing client. I'm so happy with them because it's a big corporate. So like business-wise, it's amazing. Like budget-wise, it's great. They are really like, it's a really fun team. It's also one of my friends. So, the marketing manager and I are really good friends. So we're just like really easy in communicating. That is really like working for the friends because he is a friend of mine. So yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And I met all these people actually, I think, because I started working in event photography. And it makes you really social because you're always like in a festival, in a club. You're surrounded by all these different people. Yep. And I basically, with photography, every day, you've been put in a new situation. We don't go to an office and see the same colleagues every day. Yeah. Every day we meet new people. So it makes you like, your people skills are insane. Like you've met every sort of people type there is. So I think I'm so grateful for photography for teaching me that, like how to, it taught me to meet like so many incredible, different, amazing people and working with them, communicating with them. I think that's one of the most beautiful things of photography, you know? So that's how I met so many people, and they shift to other companies and organizations. And I met them years ago, and now they're working as marketing managers, like at really cool big brands. And they're still like, oh, Yvette, we really want her on the job because we love working with her and she makes good work. So favorite photo. I couldn't really choose, but that's nice.
Yeah, it's everyone's favorite.
Okay, favorite client.
Favorite client would be a museum, to be honest. It sounds very boring, a museum, because I'm not a museum guy. I would never go to to museums, but I love them as a client because they gave me a lot of, like it's the biggest church in Amsterdam and also one of the biggest museums in Amsterdam. Yeah. So it's like a big client, really good one. They are so easy, like they're fun, they're creative. I can come up with my creative ideas and they just need it to be done. It's like usual business. They pay good. They're always happy. And everything is simple. And I always come up with new ideas. Like I came up with like, oh, I'll make some reels for you because I think reels is the next thing. Yeah. So I made some reels for free. I made some videos. I made a lot of things that I tried to provide more value. And they were like, oh, this is really nice. Thank you very much. And it was really fun and really like family vibe kind of. Yeah, I really like
exactly the same with Lipton. That's like my favorite client right now because you're like working and they're so open for creative ideas and suggestions. And they're like, just like, oh, you want to create this? Let's do this. Do you know other cool creatives that can, that can join? So I basically can more of my friends that I'm working with.
Like you can be super creative because budget is not a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually with clients, budget is a problem.
We don't even need to talk about that because they're gonna
accept it.
Yeah, they're never gonna hassle. They're never gonna be like, could you, we love your work, but could you do like something about the price? Yeah. They will be like, you know what? It's been a really cool job. You add something to the price. They even never
They told you that?
Yes.
Really?
That blew my mind. Like
That's
they
amazing.
she like, last year we did this job. But we have to talk about the budget bit. So I was expecting them to be like, we have to make a deal this time and you have to work for less. But they were like, you have to put a little bit on top because we really like your work and we want to,
That's amazing.
We have the budget for it. So, and you earn it. So I was like, huh?
Have you ever got a tip? Like this sounds like a tip, but have you ever also got like tip other than that?
Yeah, but like not a lot actually. Like it happened, I think, like one time, and it was like
we're not in America. We're in the Netherlands. It's not in the culture at all. In restaurants, you don't tip.
No, it's also not. But I got a few.
I got a few times.
But you still remember it, right? Because I got it.
It's special.
2-3 times or something, and it was like, huh? Because you really don't expect it. Yeah. It's not in the culture. It's also not really in the photography business, I think.
No, we always charge like too much. Yes. We always feel like, okay, this is way too much for them. Exactly. And then they put something above it.
Yeah, like, and you just don't expect it. Yeah. So they must be really happy. And then it makes me happy. So it's not about the whole money thing. It's not about the tip, but it's just more like you like the work so much. You like the experience so much that you actually want to give me more. Like that just gives me a really good feeling. It's not about the money. It's just really nice feeling.
Yeah.
So clients give more tips.
You do anything special after you got a tip?
Just being really surprised and being like, oh, I didn't even know how to react.
But you edited the photos like extra beautiful, right?
Yes, of course. And extra fast. Yeah, I did put in, I treat every client like it's my most important job. Because I feel it's so important. Otherwise, you shouldn't take on a job. Just treat every client like it's your most important client. Because it can be your most important client. Because maybe that knows somebody that's gonna end you up with your biggest dream client.
Okay. Side note: I know Yvette for a really long time, and we did a photo shoot a year ago. I still haven't seen my photos.
Yeah,
I'm not a client.
I'm still waiting for my money from that. It was just a fun thing, but that was not for a client. That was just like a collaboration, Instagram collaboration. Yeah. But these were really fun photos, and I promise, handshake on it. Yeah, you're gonna get them.
Oh yeah. I need to blackmail her.
He has my photos, so you can blackmail me with that. Yeah. And you can Photoshop me really weird. So if I don't deliver the photos, you can send me threatening images of myself. I'm gonna just put you online as if you were bald or something, or pregnant or whatever, or bald and pregnant.
The podcast now is going to be you bald.
That's the cover photo of this podcast. Me bald and pregnant.
It hurts.
Oh God, please don't.
I love ideas like that. God, we're so creative, huh? Creative minds.
Yeah. It's gonna end really bad for me.
Oh my God, it hurts. All right, I think that's like good.
I think that's enough for today.
I think that's enough. Let's go make some Tinder photos.
He's not joking.
See ya.